Hey everyone, it's Brett from Hope to Prosper, and I'm here with Maria, and we're in Lake Tahoe on the Bayview Trail. Just taking a little hike today and enjoying our Monday. All right, thanks for coming along, and today I want to talk about health. I want to talk today about the health benefits of retirement. My wife and I, we were having breakfast with my buddy John last week, and I was telling him how I finally got off my blood pressure medicine after 5 years, and he told me this would be a good idea for a YouTube video. So here it is. I'm just going to tell you about my health journey. The bottom line is my health has dramatically improved since I retired, and I wanted to share this story with you in hopes it might help others and encourage you. But before I get started, I want to talk about, I want to send a shout out to Al at Money Quotes with T. Al's been one of my longtime viewers, and he and I chat back and forth, and he just retired on Tuesday after years of careful planning and calculating. Al had the one more year syndrome as well as anybody I know, as long as I've known him. And he finally decided, all right, it's time to retire and live his best life. So I hope this story is an inspiration to some of you who may be on the fence. You know, I know it's hard to give up a lucrative tech career when you're making your maximum amount of money, but, you know, getting your time back, and it's pretty priceless. So it's, in my opinion, it's a good bargain. If you already have hit your numbers, consider it. So quitting the stress is another thing. It's just liberating to just take all that responsibility off your shoulder. So congratulations, Al. I'm really, really proud of you, and I'm happy for you. And I hope you enjoy your retirement adventure and provide inspiration for others. Okay, let's talk about my health journey. All right. So I want to talk about this, but first, I just want to post a quick disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor. This isn't medical advice. See your physician or your healthcare provider before making any big changes to your treatments, medications, or workout routine. So about 8 years ago, I was about 45 pounds overweight. I had high blood pressure, and I was diabetic. I was in pretty sad shape, and this bummed me out because I was an athlete when I was in high school. I was on the wrestling team, and I was in really good shape. But, you know, years later, after 40 years of sitting at a desk, I was a wreck. And it's common these days, you know, especially among older people working at desk jobs. You just don't have the health you used to have. And all the medical advice you get is take this pill, take that pill, lose weight, you know. But I knew I had to do something. So I started out on a quest to lose 20 pounds. And it took me 5 years. I chose a healthy-based diet, which, by the way, I recommend strongly a healthy diet. I chose the DASH diet, which is a form of Mediterranean, and it was fantastic. Not only did it work, but it was healthy. And later, I combined it with intermittent fasting, which helped me lose weight much faster. Anyways, 5 years later, I finally lost the 20 pounds, and I was so excited about it. But then I realized, man, it wasn't enough. I was still fat. And so then I set out to lose another 10 pounds. And 30 pounds is a lot for a guy my size. I'm pretty short. But anyways, so to lose the other 10 pounds, it took me another 3 years. It was brutal. And when I was working, I could never lose that last 10 pounds. Every time I would get to 161 pounds, my weight would just shoot back up 5 pounds. I got 1 pound above my goal weight 3 times, and all 3 times I failed. That was when I was still working. After I retired, not only was I able to hit 160 pounds last year, actually 159, I lost another 14 pounds. So now I'm down 44 pounds. I'm off all my medications. I exercise 3 to 5 times a week, and I don't sit in a desk all day. You know, my health isn't perfect. I still have to watch everything like a hawk, my blood pressure, blood sugar, everything. But everything is way better than before when I was working. I just was never able to hit those goals while I was working. So being retired has really helped me to vastly improve my health, and I'm really happy about that. By the way, I just want to say, welcome to my channel, and if you enjoy watching my videos, please think about subscribing. I promise I have some great videos and some great adventures coming up. My name is Brett. This channel is about early retirement skills and adventure. So thank you very much. Next, let's talk about the stress desk, aka my job as an IT manager. So on a good day, I always tell everybody I had the greatest job in the world. I'd walk into the office, everybody would be working away, I'd answer some emails, work on some projects. It was awesome. But on a bad day, my job could quickly turn into like a nightmare. The phone would never stop ringing. People would walk into my office, and if some major problem happened or the network went down or something like that, people would literally be charging my office. And if something happened late, I wasn't going home till I fixed it. So, and even worse, like when I was doing big projects, upgrades, swapping out servers or integrations when my companies changed hands, I would stress for weeks. I'd have big black circles under my eyes. It was tough. So on top of that, I was on call for 7x24 for 25 years. So I never really got to go home and relax. Sometimes on Saturday nights, I'd be rebooting servers and patching stuff. So, I love some of the things about my job and my career. I'm not sorry about it. It's what I chose to do. But man, I don't miss it. I don't miss the stress. I don't miss being on call. My life now is so much better. I had no idea how much better it would get. Next, let's talk about the clock is ticking, right? So one of the things I remember clearly about my job, the worst part, I think, was just being trapped in my desk all day. I was literally sitting there, and I was thinking about how my life was just slowly passing me by. My life was draining away, literally, while I was sitting in that desk. And, this never bothered me in my 20s, 30s, or 40s because, I was building my career. I had a lot of responsibility. My job was exciting. But by my 50s, I could feel it. I could feel the clock ticking. I could feel the sand just pouring through the hourglass while I'm sitting in my desk. And I knew I didn't want to wind up just being old, stuck in my desk, and be in my 60s sitting in the desk, but I also didn't see any way to escape. So I just kept going. And the thing that changed my whole life was getting laid off twice. That was the jolt I needed to finally evaluate my options and choose retirement. Honestly, I would probably still be sitting in that same desk if fate hadn't intervened and closed my company down. I'd still be there, sitting in that desk, driving to Carlsbad every day, grinding away. But this was such a jolt to me. It was such a kick in the face that I took the time to reevaluate my life. And I turned down that job that was offered to me. And then this turned out to be a huge blessing for me. And I had no idea how awesome this was at the time. But losing that job, I was stressing over it. It was just another thing to stress over. Once I decided to retire, that was the catalyst that changed my whole life. And then suddenly the stress was gone and my time was my own. And I was thinking, man, why didn't I think of this sooner? It just happened to me, and I'm so thankful for it. The last thing I want to talk about is retiree mortality. A lot of people who are on the fence or don't want to retire early, they think that they're going to die soon, right? They're going to die as soon as they retire. And I just want to tell you this isn't true. There's been several studies that show, they showed distinctly that people who retire early don't live as long as people who work longer. But that's not the whole story, right? A study from Shell Oil, this is what scares everybody. It shows employees who retired at 65 live 38% longer than those who are retired at 55 and lived to be 65. That's their employees. And while this seems really scary, you got to put it in perspective. You got to check the context of this. A lot of the people who retire at 55, they didn't do that by choice. They did it because of health reasons. They're just beat down and they can't work anymore. Shell Oil, a lot of those people were working on rigs and they're just shot at 55. So of course they died sooner. That's no brainer. If you have somebody at 55 who worked on a rig, I had a friend like this. He worked on rigs and he was in a plane crash that broke his back and he had to retire. My good buddy Hugo in Colorado. So if you compare someone like that with someone who was an office worker and worked to 65 in an office, yeah, I think there might be some disparity in the longevity. So if you're healthy and you choose to retire early, I don't think it's the same as if you're forced to retire because of health reasons. I know a lot of people like this who are disabled, and it's tough. It's been a tough life. So this subject was kind of important to me because my dad retired at 55, and he only lived to be 65. So that had me kind of scared. But my dad smoked a lot, and he sat around after he retired, and he wanted to just retire and relax. And I think that and smoking is a bad combination, and his longevity was cut way short. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen to me. I hope to live into my mid-80s and or maybe early 90s. And so I'm living a healthy lifestyle right now to support this goal. I'm exercising, eating well, limiting my alcohol. I don't smoke, never have since I was a little teenager and tried it. So I think if you're worried about mortality, you can change your lifestyle. In my particular case, like I said earlier, my health is vastly improved from not working, not being under stress, and not sitting at a desk all day. Okay, so let's wrap it up. So in conclusion, I just want to say, health is the key to a good retirement. I know so many people are disabled, and it's a terrible way to live. It's a terrible way to be retired, to be losing your knees, losing your hips, not be able to hike, not be able to do anything. I know I have a friend who broke his back twice, and man, that's horrible. So take care of yourself if you can. And I want to do things in my 60s, like hike, surf, ride mountain bikes, ride motorcycles, ride e-bikes. I want to do things that require me to be in good physical condition. And I want to live an adventure in retirement. And I'm willing to make the sacrifice it takes to maintain my health and to make sure that I can do the things I want to do in my life. Okay, everyone. Thanks for coming along this week. I want to wish you all health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives. And I'll see you next week on our next big adventure. I'm headed with my brother out to Yuma, Arizona to scout out some hunting locations for dove hunting. So I will see you from Yuma next week.